they were Proud Boys, he'd have been anywhere within 3 city blocks of them.
And it says we're live.
It lies.
It doesn't kick in for me, unfortunately, for some reason.
Yeah, nobody's dead yet, Sarah. Oh, that's a good start for the day.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Sarah Clifford's having one of those days.
I'll take it.
We were discussing Acevedo, who is being fired by the city of Miami. Not Miami-Dade, but the city of Miami.
Yeah, there's a difference between Miami-Dade PD and City of Miami PD. One of them is big and one of them ain't.
And
Yeah.
this isn't Texas, because we would have said Miami.
Right?
Oh, that's
Right.
Oklahoma.
It's Oklahoma.
That's Canadian border. That's in Texas. Miami's in Texas.
There's also
It depends
Miami,
on-
Oklahoma.
It depends where the Bureau of Land Management decides
Yeah.
the Red
Where-
River
yeah.
is.
Where they flip
Anyway.
the coin.
One of the things that Acevedo did,
Besides pissing me off personally,
hey, well, there's that,
yeah,
is
he got ass mad at me once.
he, hello all, he literally had the idiocy to stand up in a city council meeting and tell 3 Cuban Americans on the city council
Cuban
that they were communist.
Yeah, see that?
Guys that fled Cuba.
Yeah, this uber liberal, uber woke, weedy, calling people communists.
Really, kind of.
That does not make sense to me.
Back when I first started my blog, I had a searchmalta.com email address.
Yeah.
Search Malta folded, and I lost all my emails. But there was a period when I was relatively what?
Oh, Koala says, baby just jumped over my shoulder when y'all's voices came on. He's trying to steal the phone now. Hey, little one.
Back when I was somewhat a big fish in a small pond, and I was beating some gun control mid-level idiot. I think Peterson, but it might have been Jay Gold or Mike B3000.
Yeah.
I was pounding them like a German porno. And I got a thing in I got an email from Art Acevedo telling me I need to check myself. It's like, all right.
Well, Don, did he bark at me? Apparently Moose heard my voice and started looking for me because I kept sneaking up on him.
So I went about 3 weeks before I blocked him on email. He's a butthurt little bitch when he loses.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, he's classic liberal.
Yeah.
And here he is yelling, you commie at people. I'm like,
Yeah.
He was the one that was trying back when he was still Austin. He was in the running he was portraying himself as America's chief of police.
John, we're talking about Art Acevedo.
Late of, let's see. Okay, here we go. Because
here we go. Start with the latest and work backwards.
no. You got to do this historically.
Yeah.
Our Acevedo
Mhm.
started in California Highway Patrol, got the rank of captain, screwed up rather well. Married Art was having an affair with another married officer and took boudoir photos, let us say. Left them in the glove box of his cruiser when it went to get cleaned.
This is pre-cell phone days.
Pre-cell phone days,
So
yeah.
they were actual Polaroids.
Yeah, no, he had to deliver that disposable camera somewhere. Somebody had to go, oh shit, and give them to him. She got upset because everybody's going, honey.
Because the next person who gets to a cruiser
Well,
cleans it out, right?
no, he was a captain. It was his assigned cruiser. He said it'd be cleaned because he's a captain. He doesn't clean his own cruiser. And when they were cleaning, they found the photos. Went, damn. Well, they started talking about it. Got back to her. She got upset. Artie allegedly said, "You need to keep your mouth shut, or I'm going to show everybody these pictures." She didn't. He did. Boom! Internal Affairs investigation. So he takes retirement. And CHP says that since he no longer works for us,
He thought he was immune at this point?
it's Art.
Okay.
You know Art.
Because this is the kind of investigation where two parties get their hands slapped.
Yeah. Well, the CHP said, well, he no longer works for us. We don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the city of Austin, the genuflex in the direction of California said, oh my God, it's a CHP captain. Hired him. Well, he goes for some time, wrecks morale. and one step ahead of an unofficial vote of no confidence by his officers.
Yeah, because he was screwing with the officers too.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Last time he was doing
Yeah.
before last summer when they were trying to defund the police, he was trying to defund.
well, it wasn't just that. It's every cop under his watch that was accused of anything was guilty till proven
Yeah.
innocent.
Right.
And he'd go on the media, and anyway, and then he'd do stuff like he'd be driving around, he'd see an officer pull somebody over, and for whatever reason, Art would walk up in the middle of the stop, tell the person driving, my officer was mistaken.
That was it.
Yeah, and the officer's like, what the?
He stopped policing.
So
he also had a couple of really weird community outreach programs.
little weird.
Yeah.
So
Bart Avocado. Yep, Bill, that's about right.
So Acevedo, one step ahead of a
No confidence.
no confidence vote, finds out that Houston's looking for a new chief of police. Well, Houston prays in the direction of LA 5 times a day when, oh my God, it's a CHP guy, and hired him. Well,
It's to the same programs.
no, this time it got worse because he was during the BLM, he was marching at the head of a BLM protest
Yes.
while they were breaking windows of the buildings he was sworn to protect behind him.
Yeah.
Well,
the
that's
other
good.
one
And then
was
covered
the
up.
hurricane.
the hurricane and covering up the murders.
Yeah.
That's a good optic.
Some of his officers that he was very, very proud of lied on a search warrant.
Yeah.
Did a no-knock and shot 2 alleged heroin dealers dead in their house. Turns out, A, they weren't heroin dealers. B, the entire probable cause for the search warrant was complete and total fabricated bullshit.
Yeah.
Wasn't it some drug meth head trying to get out of trouble, give them a fake?
Oh,
address?
not even that.
No.
No?
This was apparently a cop who needed an extra bust for his record.
Yeah.
So that looks good. We'll raid them. So Artie, in the middle of all this, literally leaves work on Friday night at 5 o'clock. I'll see you on Monday. Flies to Miami, gets sworn in, and Monday sends an email saying it was an honor to work for the citizens of Houston, but I feel I must move on.
I am giving my 2 weeks as of last 2 weeks. Jesus.
So then he gets to Miami, and bear in mind that Art was born in Havana. He doesn't remember a bit of it because Daddy went, holy shit, and got family the hell out.
Yeah, before he could even talk.
So he was born in, and he thinks he knows Cuban culture. He was raised in California. Ain't that many Cubans in California.
Listen, I've had a Cubano sandwich. I know Cuban culture.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So he made a joke that apparently pissed off every Cuban. He thought was funny. Apparently pissed off every Cuban in America's day. So
But I can make that joke. I'm Cuban.
that's exactly what he said. And it wasn't a joke. So here's Artie, and the city council members decide to censure him. So in response, he calls them communists.
Yeah.
That went over like a big floating log in a punch bowl.
This is Florida.
And that went from censure to firing.
Yep.
He didn't get hired somewhere else before.
Not this time.
He's usually pretty quick about that.
Yeah, not this time.
Yet.
Not this time. He'll show up on CNN as a contributing whatever the hell they
Yeah,
use.
okay. Bill just insulted avocados. You're right.
He's gonna get hired by some Boston suburb PD or
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
one of the Richmond
So
suburbs.
just look for whoever goes
Oh, God.
CHPD. Oh, they'll fucking hire.
Yeah, John, almost as bad as Charles Moose. Yep, you're right about that.
Moose.
So he's feeling upwards. Or, as I said, director of the FBI.
Of the FBI.
He's next director of the FBI.
See, I hate to say it, guys, that would not surprise
Yeah.
me.
But
And he'd be a good fit.
because some of those programs he had going in Austin and Houston were just woke as shit.
Yeah.
And it was not even funny.
If I remember right,
Raptor, y'all do not want him in Philadelphia.
Oh, God.
if I
Hey,
remember
that's-
right, didn't he have one where he opened up a separate police substation for people of color?
Yeah, he was segregating police stations.
Yeah.
It was
I think that was Art.
Yeah.
Didn't
it
he?
was.
Didn't he produce a list of words they were not allowed to use in arrest reports anymore?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, that's pretty
like
standard. Yeah.
perpetrator was no longer allowed
Oh,
to be
that's
used.
right. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And I mean, so they had to be called,
Actor.
actors, or and it was, and they're not criminals. They're disadvantaged. Something I don't know. It was
Yeah. He was just woo.
Yeah, John
And like I
Moose.
said-
Moose was something else. He was the chief of police in Washington D.C. during the
Mhm.
shooters up there, and said, "Oh, it's not black people, it's white people, and
Oh yeah.
it's white guys in a white van, and
was this during Marion Barry's crack days?
Yeah. they were stopping every white van, pulling people out, and the whole time it's two black guys in a Chevy Biscayne."
And the thing, like I said, this is during, he never saw a gun control program he didn't like.
Yeah.
And he beat the drum for gun control, or Acevedo did, beat the gun for gun control fairly. He was in there, he was trying to be, he was calling himself America's police chief there for a while. And he was back, he signed the police chiefs against gun control, or against gun violence thing multiple times. And I was this back when I was relatively interesting and relatively popular blog. And he contacted me, or somebody pretending to be Acevedo. It sure sounded like him. He was ass mad about the beating I was handing to somebody. And I got enough for two. Let's do this.
It's just,
Hey, Don, I'll talk again and see if Moose will bark at me again on the speaker. Raptor says 4 good things that ever came out of Philly: Declaration of Independence, Constitution, cheesesteak sandwiches,
Cheesesteaks.
and the Termini Brothers Bakery. Yeah, that's about right.
Never heard of the last one. I do like myself a good cheesesteak.
they know how to break bells too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fairly good at breaking bells in the first ring. Clunk.
Yeah, what can you say? And we have a coroner in the Patino case who actually followed the law this morning.
Oh, yeah, like I told him, best worst interview ever. They were doing it on Skype or
Yeah.
Zoom, and half the
Zoom.
people were muted. It was a shit show. But he gave a great coroner's interview.
Apparently, he stayed in his lane.
Stayed in his lane. What was the cause of death? Strangulation. What kind of strangulation? Strangulation. Anything else, you have to ask the FBI. What was the condition of the body when it was found? Been out there 4 weeks. Ask the FBI. It's just-
See, and with some,
They-
some
they-
previous coroners that are looking for some sort of stardom, they get really outside of their lane, and
Oh, yeah.
it really creates problems.
I mean, they were asking this guy, can you connect the guy's whereabouts to the time of
Yeah.
the death? And he's like, talk to the FBI.
Yeah.
All I'm here to do is announce the determination of cause of death. That's my job. That's what I do.
Don says Moose is now laying down and watching the callers just in case that sneak up on him. Oh, that
Poor
poor dog.
dog.
Poor puppies.
The struggle is real.
Well, only because I kept sneaking into the room and he'd go, oh, bark, bark, bark.
So to fulfill the food mandate that's required on every podcast, Miss Jana
13 minutes.
Miss Jana had an issue and wound up flying from DFW to Lawton by way of Austin. And we went up there to pick her up. And we were actually looking for an Indian restaurant, the Indian Oven or something, and pulled up and it closed. And it's like, well, what else is open at 9:00 in Lawton? And there's the Bulgogi bar. I'm here to tell you, if you're going through Lawton, Bulgogi bar if you like Bulgogi, it will not disappoint.
Yeah.
Also, you get karaoke, a pool match, and an actual standing bar, all in the same place.
I've got a sneaky suspicion that if you go to anywhere that's got a military base on it, you're going to find one good Korean restaurant.
Well, of course, yellow fever, especially around army bases.
Oh yeah. Well, how many
Cedar
troops
says,
do we?
you want her to bring you watercress?
I love crust sandwiches. I don't know how to make them. It's one of the few things I don't know how to make.
Why do you like eating weeds?
That would be my question.
Salad?
It's watercress. It's a freaking weed.
It's cress.
It's not the crest part. It's the weed part that you're eating.
Okay, it's good. Little thinly sliced cucumber, some butter.
Cut the crust off. Pre-chew it for you.
Oh, Steph, I didn't realize that feud was still going on. I remember
Are
you
we
telling
feuding?
me about that a couple of years ago.
Who are we feuding with?
Mike's and Modern Bakery in Boston.
I missed something.
Oh, yeah.
One in the chat that I'm paying attention to.
It's like Shipley's versus
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very similar.
Whereas the hill I will die on is that Shipley's glazed donuts are better than Krispy Kreme.
Of course they are.
See, I'm dying on this hill. Okay,
I gotta disagree.
I'm digging my foxhole. I've bunkered my ammo. I'm dying on this hill. I will go to Shipley's for glazed donuts. Well, any donuts really. But if you guys are asking for glazed, I'm going to Shipley's.
Raptor says the one that isn't Krispy Kreme wins that one, regardless.
In the other food news, on the way up to secret location, Reed and I stopped at Coyote Bluff in Amarillo. And I was a little worried that the hamburger I remember would not be as good as it was.
Yeah.
That's one of the best hamburgers I've ever had.
Yeah, Raptor, you spelled Shipley's corrected. Yes, that is one of the best donuts in the United States.
Mhm.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Circle and Bakery for that matter.
Yeah,
But if the Cowboy Church hadn't hit there first.
yeah, Krispy
Well-
Kreme is sweetened lard. That's about right.
And
I mean, you can't fault them for that. I don't think they use lard. I
I don't
think they use
think
vegetable oil.
anybody uses lard.
They should.
Yeah.
You are not wrong, sir.
Oh, I do have to tell you, the
Uh-oh.
obligatory cow reference on Friday morning. We got a new waitress.
Oh, poor thing.
Fresh out of high school? Freshens are still in high school?
No, she's a little older than that.
Oh, okay.
When I walked in and she goes, how many? I said, yeah, 16 to 20. Yeah.
They didn't warn her?
It apparently got dropped.
Ooh, no. I guarantee you they knew and they weren't telling her.
So I hooked it right into our normal space, had to turn the lights on. And I saw the cook peek his head around the door and go, shit.
Oh, God, they're here.
She hung in there. She did make a comment once. She says, I cannot believe how much damn coffee y'all drink.
They've got one of those attack pack coffee percolators.
Yeah.
And God bless them for that. But they need another one.
Yeah, the 80 cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver dome. Whatever you call those things.
And His Honor the Mayor was the waiter for the weekend.
Like, he's not just the mayor.
Yeah.
He has like 17 hats he wears.
But he's actually the mayor of that little town.
Yeah, but he's also
our
in the
waiter.
volunteer fire department. I think he's on the school board. I think he's in charge of roads.
He's a very go-getter young man.
I think he's the guy that scrapes the gum off the bottom of the desk. I don't know. I mean, he does everything in that town.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
Have fun, Bex. Be careful.
Yeah, His Honor the Mayor.
I missed her.
The first time that somebody told me he was actually a mayor, I said, wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's the only way to make cornbread, Nancy, is with bacon fat.
Oh, yeah.
And cast iron.
Yep.
Yes.
There's the hill I'll die on.
Yes.
Cast iron.
You have to get the cast iron in the oven and preheat
Hot.
it,
Yes.
and then it's dollop of bacon fat, and then all the way around, or however your thing is, and then back in the oven to cook.
You put the bacon fat in the middle of it. You stick it in the oven. You get that bacon fat sizzling.
Yep.
You have your bowl of batter. You dump the bacon fat in the batter. You dump the batter in the bowl. Back in the oven.
No.
You
Got it backwards.
preheat the cast iron.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
you
put
preheat.
Then don't put the bacon fat in until you're ready to put the batter in.
No, you put the bacon fat in.
We're planning a feud here.
Trust me, I've been doing this a few years longer than you have. Thank you, RK.
Does he agree with you?
She agrees with me.
Uh-huh.
It's just that the smoke point of bacon fat is low enough that I'm worried about if you preheat it in the oven, you're smoking it out before you get the batter in there.
Nah,
Never had
Not if you do
never had
it
an
right.
issue. Never had an issue with it.
and I'm glad to see somebody else doesn't like kimchi. Good to see you, BJ.
I have a jar of it in the fridge. I snuck it in. He doesn't know. Oh wait, crap.
If I've got bulgogi, I've got to have kimchi. It's just
You can do it in a Dutch oven, Nancy, or you can do it. You can do it. I do mine in a regular pan,
oh yeah, it's a regular cast iron skillet's what I've always
cast
done.
iron skillet.
What
Yeah.
I've always done cornbread.
Yes, Sarah, we'll fix you cornbread next time you're down there.
He's
Which Sarah is that?
Plethora.
Okay, we know so many of them.
it's just that he's got the corn cob shaped pan,
Those are kind of neat.
and then he's got the pie wedge shaped pan, and then he's got the regular
The
just round
regular
pan.
skillet.
The corn muffin pan is over 100 years old.
It's
That
cast
came
iron.
out of an FW Woolworths in Shreveport, Louisiana, when they closed.
When they closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're gonna get whatever you get. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get a shaped bit of cornbread.
And there will not be sugar in it.
No,
Sweet cornbread is a tool of the devil.
Jim is religiously opposed to sweet cornbread.
Sweet cornbread's a tool of the devil.
amen, Arcade. No bloody sugar.
Nope. I will, however, use the box stuff occasionally if I have to.
Yeah.
For corn nuggets.
Yeah, I've got Griswolds too, Arcade. Looking for some more.
Griswold's.
Yeah.
The dark brown packet is perfectly cromulent. It's
No, Griswold pans.
oh, gotcha.
Obviously not a connoisseur of.
I like cast iron. I'm not religious about it. Cast iron's great to cook in. I'm not religious about it.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of hard to screw up a cast iron pan.
Oh, it can be done.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you get it too thin.
Well, you got to season it correctly.
Yeah.
well,
if,
that's
if you got
that's
somebody,
on the owner.
yeah, you got somebody that scrapes the seasoning off and then puts it back on a hot hob and starts cooking stuff in it. You can screw up cast iron.
Strangely, that's grounds for no fault divorce in Texas.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Oh,
You did what to my cast iron?
Oh,
Raptor just said Fauci's documentary on Rotten Tomatoes, 91 critics scored, 2% audience score.
it's dropped by 2%. It was 4% last night.
No, 2% total.
Yeah, it was 4% last night. It's
Oh.
dropped to.
The on the news today, they said that there was a Dr. Williams who sent Fauci an email in January of 2020. So this is right at the outbreak, that said not consistent with natural with natural selection and looks man-made. So Fauci knew it was man-made at the beginning of the outbreak.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason, I've heard that, but the jalapeno cornbread I've had has always been just regular cornbread with jalapeno in it.
Same thing with the hatch. It's just regular cornbread. They slap a hatch. I don't make flavored cornbread. I've never made jalapeno or hatch or anything, but I'll buy it in the store.
Nancy says, I don't know who made all my iron, been collecting it for years, enough to ballast a frigate. Yeah, cast iron is not light.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, but it's great because you can take it from stove to oven to campfire
Yeah.
and never worry about it.
Well, this weekend, Jeff B. Was cooking his chili, which wasn't bad. We're cooking his chili in a cast iron Dutch oven over charcoal.
But he
It's like I
puts
love those things.
beans in it.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Wasn't bad.
You can't blame them. I mean, there's 20 people there. It's kind of hard to make enough real Texas chili for 20 people.
Yeah.
Well, it was Colorado chili. It wasn't actual Texas chili. I'm thinking next year I might have to go up there and make actual Texas chili.
Yeah,
Is that a
that's
slow cooker chili recipe?
No.
Go ahead.
I just make stuff I make the quick chill I make here on the weekends and then let it bubble for a while.
Richard says they now have a Thanksgiving candy corn.
What?
Thanksgiving turkey dinner candy corn in your colors.
White,
What?
yellow, and orange.
Yeah.
That's Thanksgiving colors in it, with aside from brown. That's Thanksgiving colors anyway, isn't it?
Except they have the taste to go with it,
What taste?
Tastes like candy corn?
like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
like
the
the?
candy corn tastes
Yeah.
like Thanksgiving. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gross.
No, that's disgusting.
That's right up there with the Willy Wonka's. Yeah.
Oh, no, the one with the
Gee.
jelly beans that you get two that look exactly the same. One's disgusting, one's good.
Oh, no, that's Harry Potter.
Okay, that some of my young officers, when I was still working for the sheriff's office, had one of those things in the control room when I was walking through it. I said, "Oh, look, jelly beans!" And I heard "No LT." About the time I went,
Yeah.
that was a mistake.
This is boogers? No.
I don't know what it was, but damn sure wasn't popcorn.
The popcorn is the worst of the jelly bean flavors.
I love the popcorn flavor.
No butter. No.
Yeah, Don, I know you've got the big pots, and I keep eyeing them every time I get up there.
One of these days, Dawn, you're gonna be counting pans and be short one.
Yeah, she's already said, well, you can use the stove anytime you want to.
I don't know. Every time we get there, the stove's covered in food.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
that's true.
kind of scared.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Black licorice jelly beans suck.
I love
Oh,
black licorice.
licorice is the best.
I love black licorice. What do you all have against black licorice?
It reminds me too much of Ouzo.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your fault.
That's like tequila lollipops. If you've been sick on tequila too often, a tequila lollipop just makes you sick.
Yeah. RK, you can have all the licorice you want.
I love licorice. I really do.
Black licorice, I love black licorice. To be honest,
Oh, thank you, Raptor.
I'm addicted to the branches licorice mix.
Brock's?
Brock's licorice mix,
Yeah.
yeah, where you got all the different.
That's almost as bad as the saltwater taffy you get at Atwood's.
Yeah.
The bag of saltwater taffy.
I was there today. I almost got it back.
You got some deliciousness and you got so much for your fillings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Don says, just tell us you're making chili and we'll ensure you have space.
The amount of food
It-
at that place is just fantastic.
They get so sweet. There's got to be an active
We
God in
actually
there.
had food left over because the three biggest eaters didn't show up.
Man, if I had known there was any steak left over, I had nosedived into that bowl.
I can't believe we didn't bring anything back.
Ugh. So somebody got this just mongo hunk of beef and cut it into steaks and did it on the grill. And then his wife just went and sliced and then had a big bowl of sliced steak.
2-inch thick ribeyes
And then everybody's just going by and grabbing them out of the bowls.
out of a rib roast. That's I think, gonna be the way we're gonna do it going
Yeah, it's
forward.
too hard just doing
Yeah.
porterhouses or New Yorks.
Yeah.
You're doing 20 of them on the grills, the grill space that we have,
Yeah.
because you have like 2 square feet.
Yeah.
She just cut him in strips, throw them in a big aluminum serving bowl.
Yep. Joel, I actually also cilantro tastes like soap to me.
Yeah,
so,
cilantro tastes like soap.
I'm telling you, the lime trick works.
It does. It does. The lime trip does, but there's still a soap. There's still a Dove aftertaste,
Yeah.
Really?
but it's not nearly as bad.
Maybe I
It
need to
still
soak
tastes
it
like
all.
soap.
Yeah, there's a soapy aftertaste, but not nearly as bad as it normally is. Because
I will let it soak longer because it's the acid in the lime juice that's doing the trick.
You can keep saying that, and I keep tasting soap.
Well,
but
I mean, when I drink tequila, I taste puke. That's
wait,
wait.
boy, Southwest is taking the neck.
Yeah.
They're having a bit of a personnel
Issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing that Rita pointed out when we were driving in and the whole Southwest thing was coming up was that she's getting tired of being gaslighted by her own media.
Yeah.
Because the media is saying everything except what's actually going on.
Oh,
Well, I posted today, I've got text from Southwest Pilot, basically says, yeah, we're gonna get fired, so everybody's taking their sick leave and vacation, because we get fired, we lose it.
yeah. Well, technically, the airlines never fire anybody; they furlough them.
Oh, they're saying they're going to
No,
fire.
they're saying they're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
It's a mandate is you will be by November 1st.
Oh, the vaccination thing. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or face termination.
Yeah.
And they're going by November 1, huh?
So I got 25 days of vacation, and by God, I'm going to take it.
The fun thing about Southwest is to even interview with them, you have to have a 737 type.
Yeah.
Which
Well, that was their entire fleet for the longest time.
that
It
is their
still
type.
is.
So that's they're cost effective as they have one type of aircraft.
Yeah.
If they want to interview people with a 737 type, now granted, that type is the cheapest type rating out there, but that's only because of the fact that Southwest,
It's the only airline that runs them.
right? So they're doing enough 737 types for guys that are paying out of pocket. They just crash the price down to. I think the last time I saw it, it was slightly under $4,000 for a type.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, that's a good question, John, whether Southwest will even survive.
Well, the question is how quickly is it going to spread?
Southwest upper management has been taken over by the same guys that run all the other airlines upper management. They look at their costs.
Yep.
And they say, well, what costs can we control? Oh, we can control our salary costs. That's the only thing they control because they don't have any. They can hedge gas, which they did during the last crisis, which was great. Maintenance costs, as far as parts go, they don't have any control over it. 'Cause that's coming from Boeing and the supply chain. So it boils down to pilot, mechanic, and flight attendant salaries. So they cut down to the bone.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I've told people this years and years ago, when you first got hired by the airline, they put you on reserve. You're brand new, lowest on the seniority list. You could, if you bid for a route, you wouldn't get it. They put you in, and what would happen is you would sit at home for 3 solid months on reserve, just making base pay.
Okay.
Nowadays, you get hired on, and you're low man on the totem pole. You're flying every single day because they don't have the crews to cover it. You just don't get to bid on a route. You don't know where you're going.
Well,
but you can only fly 100 hours a month.
Right, but they are flying 100 hours a month, 120. It depends on the 121 certification.
Yeah,
going
that's
under,
true.
but anyways, that's right. So the difference between then and now is they've cut their piloting staff so far down that they have to hire just to fill an empty seat they have right that day.
oh wow.
Yeah, that was a good one, sir. The "Don't Tread on Me" flag hanging out the Southwest cockpit.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is Business Insider had a op-ed today that was it started out the passenger hysterics are inappropriate, and then went, but let's understand that we're
Yeah.
causing some of them.
Yeah.
The TSA is security theater. Everybody knows it.
Mhm.
Getting bumped off a flight is happening more and more. You don't have an opportunity. You don't have an option. You're just bumped.
Yeah.
It's happening more and more.
You were in the early days when you got bumped, they gave you free upgrades, free hotels,
Yeah.
free. Now, unless you ask for it, they will give you nothing. You've been bumped because they normally sell seats at 130% capacity.
Yeah.
Expecting people not to show up.
Right. Well, now the last time I flew, they needed to bump 5, and they said we will give $50 to anybody that,
$50.
50.
That's it.
and nobody went. They said if you don't take the 50, we're going to bump you anyway. And okay, and they said, all right, you've got surly flight attendants.
Yeah.
You first get there, you get there 2 hours early. You can't do anything. You go through security theater, which everybody knows is useless. Then you get to the plane, you run into surly flight attendants. They've cut the seat space, both to the sides, front and back, where you can't recline, and you've got your seat, your row mates, partner either side, their elbows in your ribs. And you've got to expect that there's going to be some passenger pushback.
Yeah.
And Business Insider pulled that within 2 hours.
Yeah, John, that's another point. You used to take your ticket to any other airline and they'd take you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Back
also,
for deregulation.
no, even after deregulation,
Really?
you also used to be able to interline luggage. You can no longer do that.
No. And I can remember 15 years ago getting bumped, and they asked for volunteers and said any volunteer will get $400, and then
Yeah.
10 minutes later, since somebody came out and said any passenger who volunteers will get $600.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about a new ticket,
Right.
and this is $50.
Yeah,
No.
and the other thing Southwest did is by blaming it on everything, including the weather,
Yeah,
they no longer had to comp people or put people in hotels.
they blamed everything. They blamed ATC and the weather, and
Yeah.
the FAA immediately came back over the weekend.
AT ATC went, what the?
No,
the
no, no,
FAA
no, no.
If the FAA,
Jax went out for over 4 hours.
that was
Yeah, but that wasn't the other places. Like DFW didn't go out.
No, but that controlled Miami.
Yeah, but-
Jax controls everything south of DC.
But they Southwest blamed everybody but themselves.
Yeah.
The FAA over the weekend, the FAA came out with a
Yeah.
statement that said, "No, the weather is not affecting that many flights, and we've only had the one."
Yeah.
Well, they had this big map and said this is the weather, and it showed that little compared to the little storm system we got, and one off of Cuba.
Yeah, that was it.
So yeah, they're kind of passing the buck.
Well, the other thing it did is there's one more institution that the American public's losing faith in.
Yeah.
And we can only lose faith in so many systems before.
Well, Southwest has always been a cheap airline.
Yeah, but
I mean, to put it bluntly, when you compare services, it is the cheapest
Mm-hmm.
airline.
and you paid cheap.
Yeah, and you paid cheap and you got cheap.
But it's really just a bus.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, that's all gone are the days of the cloth napkin service for dinner
Yeah.
and the sleeper flights. No, it's a bus.
But, the other example, go the other way, because I've got so many miles in United, I fly them as a preference. When I got delayed by weather in Chicago, they put me up in a hotel for free.
Mhm.
And it was a nice hotel.
Yeah, but you've got the unobtainium card with United.
Well, not only that, but there were so many. You had to go 10 miles from the airport to find a hotel that wasn't booked solid.
Yeah.
Because of all the shutdowns. And that was in Dallas, not Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Or Miami.
So
Yeah, Sprint, Frontier, and JetBlue are all three worse.
yeah,
They were copycats.
you remember People's Airline?
Oh, God.
Vaguely.
I flew them because their heyday was right when I was coming out of basic training. And I can remember because one of the things about People's was they wouldn't check your baggage through.
Yeah.
So
What?
we caught People's flight from Fort Jackson, South Carolina, to Atlanta, and then up to my hometown. And I can remember getting into Atlanta, realizing that there was a 20 minutes time ticking between when my next flight left, or I would miss it. We had to run up to the top and all the way across Atlanta because we came in at Terminal D, all the way across to the baggage check, get our bags, and then run all the way back to the gate, Terminal D, because that's where People's was. And then at that point, somebody told us, "Oh, by the way, there's a tram."
Yeah.
We made our flight though. Two guys running in Class A's with no medals or anything on them.
Yeah.
Wheel clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the guy that wrote that's right. It's, the airline, the flight attendants are surly. There's nothing. You don't even get a bag of peanuts anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Pretzel.
Well, you
peanuts.
don't get peanuts because they're
They may contain nuts.
allergies. Yeah.
You don't get a bag of pretzels anymore. And you're crammed in like sardines.
Yeah.
And people get twitchy.
Well,
That's a good question, Jason. When will both parties consider the social contract defunct?
I mean, they've shrunk the seats down that there is no more social distancing,
No.
and I'm assuming the Italians are okay with it because they have traditionally the smallest
Social distance
social
of anybody.
Yeah,
Well, Japanese maybe.
but yeah, no, our standard, you are in my personal space. Social distance is a little bit bigger
It's a lot bigger.
Oh,
than the
it's
chairs that
huge.
we're in. Yeah,
America.
We have the largest social space of anybody in the world.
the Brits are bigger
No, they
no,
are
we
not.
no, we are.
because I've watched.
Bullshit, Jim.
No,
You're-
I've
you're
read the
wrong.
studies. The people with the largest social distance are Americans.
Yeah.
The only ones bigger than with bigger are American or Russian convicts.
Yeah.
Are only ones with a bigger social distance.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just-
Or personal space.
I forgot. When I was living in England. I was at I went to an event at the American Embassy, and I was watching a Brit and an Italian talk, and it was literally like watching a waltz.
Yeah.
Because the Brit would step back, the Italian would step forward.
That's
Brit would
because the
step back.
Italian wasn't wearing
Yeah.
any deodorant.
No, it was
Well,
funny.
neither one of them are wearing deodorant. Trust me.
Brits are better about it than mainland Europeans.
No.
But it's just the social distance sizes were
Yeah.
so.
Well, they may be better about it, but they don't take their clothes to the cleaners near often enough. Yeah.
I always found and this is incredibly racist, but I always found the French to be the stinkiest of the Europeans.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, Jim.
Woo.
Jim Totten just said, due to sword length. Yes. Yeah. Hang on.
But no, according to social studies, social scientists, Americans are second only to Russian convicts in personal space.
Yeah.
That's damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard, Flying Tiger, they were a freight hauler primarily, but they were also a charter airline.
We flew Flying Tiger back from Korea when I ETS.
And they were not bad.
It was a 747, and it was 464.
Yeah.
Talking about crammed, and I was sitting next to an E7, and the stewardess came by with drinks, and he handed her like $40.
Yeah.
And she gave him all the drinks he could get for $40. And he looked at me and he said, so I did. I gave her as much money I had. I think I had $30 on me. She handed me all these drinks, and we never saw them again.
Yeah.
From Seoul to Anchorage, we saw them that once, and it was 20 minutes after we took off. And that was it.
Wow. I miss Pan Am in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, Pan Am was interesting, but I like TWA better.
We did TWA in Braniff,
Brandon, I did.
but my favorite was Pan Am because I always got to get up and go up to the cockpit.
You get the plastic wings.
I got the plastic wings,
Yeah.
and they always felt I had them somewhere in my
I
logbook.
don't have them anymore.
I know, but I had a logbook, a Pan Am logbook that they gave me the first time.
Uh-huh.
I somewhere I got it with all of my flights in this, and they
Yeah.
would ceremoniously sign my logbook, and
But yeah, these are the things that they quit doing because some bean counter said, well, we're spending
yeah,
$80 on these wings a year. Let's
Yeah.
not. We got that's $80 we can save. And I'm just like,
I remember.
I remember United. I was talking to one of the flight managers for United, the in-flight food managers for United on a flight. And he said they got told to take out olives out of the salad in first class.
Okay.
And they saved $188,000.
yeah,
And then he said they got told to start looking at what else they could take out.
Yep.
Of all of the food.
Did
Okay.
you did
And
you
it
ever?
was literally, they were going to take stuff out until the passengers complained, and then they would put whatever the last thing they took out was back in.
That's corporate
which
America.
is why there's four lease of lead.
First time at DFW getting off a Braniff flight into that Braniff terminal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, the assault on my optic nerve was just pink and orange everywhere.
Did you ever fly Big Orange?
Braniff?
Yeah, the 747.
I don't know if we ever flew that, but we flew Braniff a couple of times.
I was drunk with a lot of Brandon pilot. Okay, there's a bar right next to Addison Airport
Yeah.
in Dallas, and all the Braniff guys, when Braniff disappeared, that was the bar they went to, and I came in from some cargo flight and stopped by the bar, and there they all are, just chewing the good old days.
Yeah.
But Pan Am and British Caledonia were my favorite ones to
I
fly.
think it's
I got to fly on Braniff's Big Orange SP1.
high altitudes. What gets me about the food is high altitude kills your sense of taste.
Good point.
Things taste blander.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you start taking olives, which are a huge flavor,
Yeah,
out, the food is going to be.
it's going to be even blander than it was.
One thing I remember about Big Orange was the upper lounge on the SP1 was a lounge.
Yeah, they didn't have seats.
And
up
they
there.
were carving roast beef up there on Brown.
I remember dressing nice to get on a Pan Am in
Yeah, you
the
had
70s.
you had to dress nice to get on the airlines. It
And
was one of this.
I remember grandparents walking us to the gate.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Yeah,
Put on a
John,
suit
I'm
and tie.
checking in and asked how much upgraded first, and it was less than $100. Yep, those were the days.
Oh, when I was working for Rockwell Collins, we used to fly on Y class tickets all the time.
Yeah.
And Y class is a full price coach fare.
Yeah.
Right. But if you mention that to the lady at the gate, if they have room in business or first,
Yeah.
they'll automatically upgrade you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't exist anymore. Y class tickets.
Yeah.
I discovered my last trip. That'd be the trip I got COVID on, matter of fact. That if you go through the miles and miles of CVS receipt, pardon me, the tickets that the automatic thing prints out, there's a drink coupon in there.
Yeah.
It's cornbread hell chasing out a stewardess to give you your gin and tonic.
Yeah.
And it's a nasty gin and tonic, but it's a coupon for a free drink.
Yeah.
And I can raise all sorts of polite, courteous hell until I get my free drink.
Yeah, well, Raptor, that's also LaGuardia. You know, they don't have enough gates for everybody anyway. So they'll put you on the pad and then you got to scramble to get to the other airplane.
I remember.
I can remember some of the Hopper airlines weren't tall enough for the jetways.
Yeah.
Back when they didn't have that requirement, so we would all stand by the door and then they'd open the door and we'd all march out to the airplane across the tarmac. I love that. I love that.
The flight from DFW to Wichita Falls Municipal, you would get off, your Brandon for Pan Am at one of the big ones. You'd walk through this big terminal and be all sorts, and then you'd go all the way down and down some stairs, this ratty little terminal.
Yeah.
And you sit in the cracked seats.
And the stairs got more and more industrial as
Yes.
it went down.
Yes.
And then the puddle driver would pull in and everybody'd walk out.
Yep.
Sure wasn't nice getting off the plane at Wichita Falls because it was a straight shot.
Yeah.
From plane, baggage claim, car.
Yeah, you talk about Y class and upgrades. 2009, I had to go down to Australia. And I had a Y class ticket, government ticket. And I was kind of half joking with them in LA when I got there because I had a 5-hour layover. It's like, is there any chance of an upgrade? She said, let me see what I can do. She comes back and she says, yeah, $100. Shit. Drop that on her. But not only did I get business class, I got first class.
She bumped you twice.
Bumped me twice. Out and back.
Oh, nice.
Chris just reminded me that the kids' wings, the junior aviator wings for KLM were actual metal.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
KLM, and then KLM partnered with Northwest. And things went downhill from there.
I remember Air Nigeria. I don't know if it was actually Air Nigeria or Nigeria Air. The national, because remember when everybody had a national airline?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is the U.S. is the only country on this planet that doesn't have a national airline.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the other countries have a national airline that's heavily subsidized by their government. Or depending on the country, may be subsidized by us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we don't.
But,
Raptor, Dusseldorf is probably one of the worst ones outside of Russia. And Dusseldorf is an ex-military base, so yeah.
But
Plus, we bombed it a bunch.
the national airline of Nigeria, oh my God. It was painted green and white, which is Nigerian colors on the outside, and oh my God, a clown puked on the inside. And the first time we're flying out, we sit in the seat, and it's stinky. And Dad grabs his seatbelt, and the tongue end comes loose. And he's looking at it, and my mom reaches up, punches the call stewardess, and Dad's looking at this unattached seatbelt. And stewardess comes out and says, "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry." Produces a safety pin.
Yeah.
Safety pins the tail end of the.
But it was a 10G safety.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Pats Dad on the shoulder and goes off down the.
Now, you want butt ugly inside. ANA Pokemon 747.
That doesn't even sound good.
Not only is the exterior painted Pokemon,
Oh God.
all the seats in the interior are
Who
Pokemon.
thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
It's Japanese. It's a tourist airplane.
Oh, I guess
It's the one they fly down to Okinawa and Guam.
so. It only has Japanese on it for the most part.
Yeah, unless you're commuting down Okinawa and then you get stuck in the Japanese seats.
You're the one round eye in the entire
Yeah.
plane.
And
The-
I was in row 84 one day.
I'm here to tell you that when the last flight I took on Southwest, my hips, and I'm not a big guy.
Yeah.
My hips were banging. I had to lift one of the armrests to sit down because my hips were banging the armrests. And the lady next to me gave me a
Dirty luck.
"How dare you!" and slammed it down, and my love handle got abraded.
I will say the best airline food I've ever had was on Air India.
Oh, I can believe it.
It was the best curry I've ever eaten. It really was. Plus, I got to watch a bunch of American shows in Hindi. Didn't understand a word, but they were still funny.
Bollywood's best.
Yeah, I think the best food I've ever had on the airline was Cathay Pacific.
Pan
I
Am.
haven't flown them.
From what I remember, I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Well, Pan Am was good back in the day when. I mean,
60s and early 70s, Pan Am was
Yeah.
a great one to fly.
It really just. It started going downhill mid '70s, but after deregulation,
Yeah.
forget it. It was.
I can remember when we had to fly up Chicago and connect out of there. You would get a full meal between DC and Chicago on a 7 Deuce, which is not a slow airplane.
No, and you sucking the gear up, and she's already out with the dinner cart.
Yeah.
It was that quick.
Well, I remember you suck up the gear, and as soon as the stewardesses could start moving, they were asking you had two choices. What do you want?
Yeah.
You know, roast beef or chicken? Roast beef, chicken.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that. And then it got to the point where if you were towards the back of the airplane, they would run out of one of the choices.
Yeah.
And now there's no choice.
I don't remember ever not having a choice, but it was you always had a choice, and they'd bring and you got metal utensils.
Yeah.
I remember metal utensils. I remember how upset I was in 79 or 80 on the way back, and they gave me plastic friggin' utensils.
RK, I don't think I've ever heard of or flown. I know I've never flown British Midlands.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
British Caledonian and BOAC are the only ones
Yeah.
I remember.
Is British Midlands the ones that has their phone number painted on the sides of the airplane? I can't remember.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
There's a British Airlines. It's one of the tourist airlines. They go to like Tenerife and Spain.
Yeah.
But their phone number, their airplanes are all painted with their phone number on the side.
Makes
Because
sense.
yeah,
Makes
I mean,
sense.
if you're looking, I need to get a ticket. Oh wait, there's a phone number for me.
No, RK said it's entirely inside England. Doesn't go anywhere else.
Okay. Do they have their phone number painted on the side of the airplane? Is that the one, or is it at a different airline?
I don't know.
Is BOAC still in existence?
Yeah, BOAC.
Yeah.
But
Kind of.
aren't they more
British Airways now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Subsidized airline.
But I think isn't BOAC a research center?
Yeah.
Part of it, and BA is the airline
Yeah.
part
Yeah,
of
I
it.
love flying British Caledonia. British Caledonia was great. And again, you know, as soon as we were at cruising altitude and everybody was calmed down, they'd come back, get the kids, and we'd go up and talk cockpit. Whee!
I flew Virgin Atlantic twice.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't understand. Best looking stewardesses on the planet.
Well, they're the newest airline. That's why.
It was just yeah. And I flew business once, and you get a free shiatsu massage.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh, God.
and a phone number. I don't know if that was part of it though. Anyways.
You're drifting off into memory land there, Jim.
Now, British Midlands got bought and folded into British Airways.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah.
I remember we flew into Miami one time. Normally we fly in New York. When we jump the puddle, it'd be-
Miami's a friggin' third world. Miami Airport's a third world country.
in the 70s, you're right. But we'd gotten from Lagos to London, probably by way of Rome, London to Miami, and we're in customs going, to get on the plane, to get through. And Mom found a cola nut in her purse.
Oh, a cola nut?
Cola nut.
Oh, narcotic.
Put that lime in the cookie.
And so she finds, she said, oh shit, cola nut in the purse. And apparently, because she likes telling the story, she very nonchalantly took the coconut out or the cola nut out and dropped it. I went, oh look, cola nut. Picked it up. Look, mommy, cola nut. So she gets it and she's looking around. Everybody, nobody knew what a
Yeah.
cola nut was. and she drops it. Chris goes, "Oh, coconut! Look, mommy, coconut!" She might have dropped it and punted it. And she said 3 customers went, "What the?" Well, coconut stopped behind
Could
them
have just nonchalantly walked over to the trash can and gone,
and get out of the line. Are you serious?
oh,
Yeah. Good luck finding a trash can in Miami.
yeah. Well, before everybody got scared about somebody wearing exploding sneakers, there used to be trash cans.
Yeah,
No, not in Miami.
yeah. I don't
Well,
know
okay, that might have been just Miami, but yeah.
There used to be a lot of. I mean, there used to be the restaurants in DFW that were pretty good.
Yeah.
Last time I went through there,
No.
it's either a high priced name. Who the hell is Wolfgang Puck?
He's
Oh, some California pizza guy.
no, he's a chef.
Yeah,
He's an actual chef, and
he's got a
he's
really
Austrian.
he's got a really fancy.
He's some California pizza guy. He sells pizzas in California. I don't know.
Oh, he's not a pizza. He's
Well,
an actual chef.
he's got an actual high end Tony restaurant at DFW
Yeah.
where they tag an extra 0 onto everything
Yeah.
they serve.
Or
Or
McDonald's, and once you get on the airport, has to tag an extra 0 on there.
no kidding. Or you can go to McDonald's and you still pay twice what normal prices, but at least it's
You
not.
know what scares me is what a McDonald's on the airport in Oahu would cost.
Oh God.
Because they're expensive anyways on Oahu.
They don't have one.
You don't think they don't have one?
No.
Probably because they would have, we would be charging $27 for a basic hamburger.
If I remember right, the burger
The
I
only
got.
thing they've got Wahoo is a Burger King.
If I remember
Same
right,
deal.
the burger I got at DFW from McDonald's last time I went through there, when I was wandering around for 2
Yeah.
hours waiting for you.
Yeah.
The entire meal came to like $14 for a number 1 combo. It's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this better be Wagyu beef on my damn Big Mac.
No.
And apparently the sheer, because I had time to.
Yeah.
I was watching.
And Dawn reminds you got to go out in town to get a spam from McDonald's, a spam sandwich. But they do have them in McDonald's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they also have a Portuguese sausage breakfasts.
They're almost as nuts for spam in Hawaii as they are for spam in England.
That's what I hear.
Now,
Hawaiians are
they
big on
are
spam.
more nuts.
The
Really?
Hawaiians are big on spam.
They sell single serving spam in the stores out there, and they can't keep it in the stores.
The first time I was introduced to spam sushi, it's like, the hell?
Yeah. Now I will admit, spam Mitsubishi on the golf course is not bad.
On the golf course?
Yeah.
Sushi on a golf course has got to rank like one
No,
step above.
Mitsubishi. It's basically spam, rice, and seaweed wrapped and seasoned,
Okay.
and
Right.
it's a munchie.
That
It's
sounds
right
like
up-
something that's one step above gas
Station sushi. Yeah, it actually does.
It is, but the birds love it because they'll come steal it out of your hand. You know, you're sitting there going,
It's because they're used to it, because they got to take one bite and go, ugh. Hey,
no, I mean, I have literally seen a guy sitting there with one in his hand and the bird come in and snag it. He right on the one.
Gas station sushi is just one of those. It's right up there with gas station egg salad sandwiches.
There's a Kroger in Columbus, Ohio, that had the best sushi anywhere in town. Swear to God.
The sushi here at United isn't bad.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand.
Oh.
This was actually good sushi. The stuff at United is, again, one step above a golf course.
I've had worse sushi in Japan.
Well, and that goes. There's bad
Well,
sushi.
that's true. That's true, Don. Yeah.
It's-
Damn near any food
There's
in
bad
Hawaii.
sushi in Japan, just like there's bad barbecue brisket in the United States.
Yeah.
Ask Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Supposedly the best brisket in the.
That still annoys me.
Yeah. It's
God,
always
that
you.
picture.
Yeah, the picture of this, the best barbecue brisket in the United States is in Brooklyn. It's like Brooklyn.
And it was this gray slab with no smoke ring.
No, and a couple of veggie things.
Yeah.
And it was, it was so dry. The picture had me
Yeah,
begging
yeah.
for water.
And I'm looking at this going, where's the tater salad? Seriously?
Yeah.
Where's the barbecue sauce?
No beans,
Yeah.
no potato salad, no.
Yeah,
barbecue.
Jay, it's too far from the coast for good sushi.
Bubba
yeah.
could ride a cow to Brooklyn and make better barbecue than what was in that picture.
I have a 500 rule about seafood. 500-mile rule. If you're more than 500 miles from a coast, aside
Get the
from
catfish.
yeah, don't eat at a seafood
Yeah.
restaurant
Get the catfish.
unless you walk in and the bill ladings are on the wall.
Yeah.
Pelicans.
Oh,
Pelicans, Benihana's in Chicago does
Yeah.
that, so you know what's fresh, what came in, and what day it came in on.
that's right. Don, I forgot about the friggin' sparrows trying to steal your fries out there. That was funny as hell.
Well, people quit feeding the birds. They wouldn't. Well, they
Yeah.
just steal more now.
Yeah, they just steal more.
They're used to it, so.
Their
Hey,
produce.
Raptor, it was one of those, oh, this is a gourmet food magazine.
Yeah.
We have searched the United States.
And it's a gourmet magazine out of brace yourselves for the shock, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like Texas? It said like Texas Foodie or Texas Monthly was the name of the magazine.
No.
too?
No,
This was
Okay.
Gourmet.
Gourmet Eatery Incorporated or something.
Because there are enough magazines that say Texas this or Texas that
Yeah.
that are published in New York.
Yeah.
Texas Monthly Magazine.
Yep.
The
And
magazine about Texas is written by people who hate Texas.
Yeah.
right, and if they've been to Texas, they haven't been more than 10 feet off of a major interstate.
You're not kidding. It's like if you're rating the top 10 barbecue places, and 3 of them aren't Texas, 2 of them aren't Kansas City, and 1 of them isn't one of the Carolinas,
Yeah.
you are screwed up.
Cedar. Cedar said the big Asian market she was in yesterday had a whole side of an aisle was all spam.
Spam,
Yeah.
spam,
Different flavors.
spam. Now I have to admit,
low sodium, low salt.
Rita discovered the smoked spam, in the spam in a can, smoked spam in a can.
Yeah,
That's-
stuff they have
that's
at Lowe's here.
actually not bad.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. I like that on a sandwich.
Yeah, Joel, that would be a novel concept for them to actually stop and fly over country.
Well, Texas Monthly Magazine.
Yeah.
I got on their bad side one time because I did a study, and I went to the library and checked out a year's worth of articles. And every article I plotted on Google Maps. I put a pin on where the article was from,
Yeah.
and every stinking one of them for that year was within 10 miles of an interstate.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because they can't be bothered. I mean, they're phoning this in from the bedroom and
Yeah, no
New
kidding.
York.
Pretty Texas has one of the best you'll eat what I damn well tell you places
Yeah.
in the country.
Yeah.
Texas Monthly will never go to Pretty Texas and try that food.
No. And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour and 2 minutes of your time
Holy
today.
crap, we have.
We spent 50 minutes of it talking about food.
And another 50 talking about airlines.
Yeah. Thank you very much for chiming in today, folks. It's great to see everybody as always. And
Y'all be safe.
we'll be back on Thursday and try this again. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff, don't pet the sweaty stuff, and don't fly Southwest.